Yes. A very good morning, everyone. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to this online artificial intelligence class. We are in session 11 now. So what is that we do in this class is we try to understand about various production systems in the syllabus. As far as the first unit is concerned, we have many important topics that were kept in the syllabus. The first most important topic that was in the syllabus is applications of artificial intelligence. So that is the vital component where that will create you an interest and intuition towards the depth of artificial intelligence. The second point that we have most important in the first unit is the component of artificial intelligence. What are the compulsory components that should be there in the artificial intelligence? That's what we have discussed. And then the third important thing that we have discussed is about how do you implement or how do you play a tic-tac-toe game. The intuition was given in the earlier classes. The meaning is like we have a second method and third method. I have only focused on cutoffs in the terms of second method. In the third method, I have focused on a predicting system. But see, the second and the third method is not complete because the second method I need to have an heuristic. And third method also I need to have a heuristic. Heuristic plus predicted, that is what your third implementation is. And cutoff plus heuristic, that is what your second implementation is. So second method and the third method still we have to discuss. So I have given some time so that you can explore this tic-tac-toe game playing in a different dimension, so that there is a chance at least few of you can implement this game. That is the reason we are deferring these tic-tac-toe classes to the next week. So today's class, I said, it is just an introduction to a production system. We have many different types of systems in artificial intelligence. We can call them some systems, we can call them as a rule-based systems, belief systems, truth maintenance systems, and many more systems are there. One of the innate and preliminary system, we call it as a production system. So my interest of the class is to introduce what will be there in the production system. But to introduce what exactly there in the production system, I am taking an example called as water jug problem. So by explaining this water jug problem, I am just trying to explain what exactly the production system is. So the outline of the class is very simple. Like every day we are talking about what actually happened in the last class. The same way I wish to explain this production system with an example called as water jug problem. Water jug problem is the easiest problem that was there in computer science engineering. It's an open problem and it can be easily solved. So I'm again just repeating. I wish to introduce what are the components of production system by an example called as a water jug problem. So what is water jug problem? How this water jug problem can be solved? We'll discuss this in the next slides. So what is that we have done in the last session is we are trying to implement, we are trying to give an intuition of implementation of tic-tac-toe game, where in the first method we have discussed the intuition was to create a table with some indexes, and what is the next state? How do you get the next state? How many possibilities are there? So every possibility of the state is represented in a table. So when you are moving from one state to other state, you will be referring that table where exactly my current state is. Based on the current state position, we are going to go to the next state. So the first tic-tac-toe game implementation, we have almost 3 power 9 different types of states, and based on that you have different types of next states also. That's what we have discussed in the earlier class. Second implementation, I have focused on the cutoff values that we called as 18 and 50. But the implementation in the terms of heuristic was missing in the second unit. That will be discussed when we discuss a topic called as heuristic. And the second implementation of tic-tac-toe game will be completed in the next week. The same way, the third implementation also, I have only concentrated on how do you change the positions and how do you implement this magic square. But this magic square has to exist. I need to have a heuristic that will come in the next class, most probably in the next week. Because tomorrow's class we will be talking about how do you identify a AI problem, what are the different characteristics of AI problem. So I will get into this class, like what are the components of a production system and what is this water jug problem. So if somebody asks me what is a production system is, production system is an AI system that is governed by some productions. That productions we call it as rules. Sometimes the same rules we call it as a knowledge. So if an AI system is governed by some productions and some algorithm to move from one state to other state, that is called as a production system. You can understand the production system in the later slides. So before getting into this production system, this is what we have seen. The comparison of three methods of tic-tac-toe game was discussed in the last session, and even now also we have discussed. So I'm getting into this class session. Very simple. In this class is a very simple class where we are only focusing on how do you understand the production system in the terms of this water jug problem. Water jug problem is the most what is that we call it as traditional problem in computer science engineering. So what are the description of this water jug problem is, you have two what is the jugs whose capabilities are 3 gallons and 4 gallons. This jug has a capability of storing 3 gallons of water. This jug has a capability of storing 4 gallons of water. And there is a pump that is available here to fill these jugs. But what is the constraint that they have given is, neither of these jugs does not have any marks on it, like is it 1 gallon or 2 gallon or 3 gallon, there is no substantial marks on it. So if the first jug is filled, the meaning is it is having 3 gallons. If the second jug is filled, the meaning is it is consisting of 4 gallons. So the interest of introducing this problem is how a system can process when you have some constraints. And I'm again repeating, the problem is you have two cans or two jugs which can hold 3 gallons of water, and other jug or can hold 4 gallons of water. So the goal is, how do you get 2 gallons of water exactly in a 4 gallon jug? The input is 2 cans are there or 2 jugs are there. Each jug can have at most 3 gallons. Other jug can have at most 4 gallons. How do you get 2 gallons in a 4 gallon jug? But the constraint is there are no marks on these jugs, like 1 liter or 2 gallons, and there are no marks in these jugs. It's very simple problem, and you can get the output very easily. So my interest of keeping this in the slide is, every AI problem, every traditional AI problem will have a starting state. You have a goal state. You will move from one state to other state. In between, you need to solve the problem in the terms of constraints. Again, I'm explaining the problem. Two water jugs are there. Each first water jug can have at most 3 gallons. The second water jug can have 4 gallons. The output is, how do you get 2 gallons in a 4-gallon jug? The constraint is neither of these jugs does not have any marks like 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, something. There is no marks. And the flexibility that they have given is there is a pump which can fill these jugs. We can fill the water or we can pour the water from these jugs. So can somebody unmute yourself and tell what is the water jug problem is, please? Can somebody unmute and just tell me what is this water jug problem?
We have two jugs, sir,
Yes.
which has the capability of 3 gallons of water and other has 4 gallons of water.
Excellent. Then.
And we have a pump to fill that.
Yes.
Now the problem is how do we get the 2 gallons of water in the 4 gallons of water jug?
Yes. What is the constraint?
And the given constraint is there are no markings on either of the two jugs.
Excellent. This is what it is. Thank you very much. So when we are introducing this problem, my intention is every AA problem, you take a tic-tac-toe game, you have a starting state. You take a chess game, you have a starting state. You take a NIM game, you have a starting state. You take a 8 puzzle problem, it will have a starting state. So every time A talks about how do you move from one state to other state, applying all the constraints to reach your goal. So what she told is exactly right. You need to get 2 gallons of water in a 4-gallon jug, and both of these jugs do not have these marks. So the flexibility that was given is you have a pump which can fill these 2 jugs, and at any time you can pour some water from these jugs. There is a chance that you can fill the jugs or you can fill partly. So once you fill partly, we don't know how much amount of water was there in the jugs. This is what the general story is. So this has to be clear. Something like A will have, whenever people talking about artificial intelligence, they need to understand that A will have a starting state. They need to have a goal state. And most importantly, there are some constraints that has to be applied. How do you apply this constraint to move from one state to other state is the challenge of artificial intelligence, whether it is a water jug problem or any other problem. So in the next slide, what is that we do is we just try to understand this problem in the terms of state space search. What are the variables that has to be used to represent these jugs, something like that. So two variables are needed here. One variable represent a 3-gallon jug, and other variable represent 4-gallon jug. We can take it as X for 4-gallon or X for 3-gallon and Y for some other jugs. So we'll see in the next slide what was that. So the problem that I have written clearly here, like you have a 4-gallon and 3-gallon water jugs, and there is a chance that you have a pipe consisting of unlimited water. You can fill both of them or either of them based on your requirement. How do you get exactly 2 gallons in this 4-gallon jug? That's what we are discussing. And now the point is the state space representation. So state representation or state space representation is the way in which your algorithm boundaries are defined. So if you consider a tic-tac-toe game, the state space is a 3x3 matrix. Whatever states that you represent in algorithm, or whatever algorithm you take, this algorithm will revolve around 3x3 matrix. So if you consider the state space a representation of a chess game, so the entire algorithm will revolve around 8 by 8 matrix. So your algorithm state space H is 8 by 8. Now here we have two water jugs, and you can say this X is a variable which can store the possible values of 4-gallon jug, and Y is a variable which can hold or which can represent the values pertaining to a 3-gallon jug. So state space or state representation is how your algorithm or what type of parameters or what type of scope your algorithm will operate. Can somebody unmute yourself and tell me what can be the possible values of X, where X represents a 4-gallon jug?
Zero to 4, sir.
Yes. Why?
Because the maximum capacity is 4, sir, for
Yes.
that jug.
Yes. See, X can take, in general, it can be empty, so the value is 0. It can have 1, it can have 2, it can have 3, it can have at most 4. What she told is right. Y also it can have 0, 1, 2, 3, at most it can have 3. So state space representation or state representation will tell you what area your algorithm is going to rotate. So in this problem, this algorithm will be rotating in the terms of values called as X and Y. X can have a value of 0 because it can be empty. It can have 1, it can have 2, but it can have 3, it can have 4, but we cannot exactly tell whether it is 1 inside X or 2 inside X. It depends. Y can hold 0, 1, 2, 3. The reason is the maximum capacity of Y is 3. And the starting state is 0, 0. So both of the jugs are empty. And the goal state is you need to get 2 gallons in this 4-gallon jug. So this is how you describe a problem in AI. All the traditional problems in AI will have the same procedure. Like how do you identify the starting state? How do you identify in the goal state? Then how do you represent what is the state space in which this algorithm will operate? That's what I said. When you are talking about a NIM game where 3 and other areas where you have 6, you need to have a matrix of 6 by 3. When you discuss about tic-tac-toe game yesterday, it is a 3 by 3 matrix. Your state space such lies in this 3 by 3 matrix. When you implement a chess game, your state space representation lies in this 8 by 8 matrix. The scope of the algorithm is 8 by 8. The same way here, what parameters will change continuously and how your algorithm will operate is based on your X and Y. I said X represents 4-gallon and Y represents 3-gallon. So every traditional AI problem, we need to identify the starting state, we need to identify the goal state. In between, you need to move from one state to other state. So based on some constraints. So in the next slide, what that we do is we try to analyze this problem manually and get the output 2.0, and then we proceed. How do you write the productions? So in the next slide, what is that we are trying to do is you are going to analyze manually the starting state. How do you get the final state? In the next slide, what is that we do is you try to create some knowledge to solve this problem. This is what the agenda of the class is. So I'm going to the next slide now. So I'm just coming out from this. So 0, 0 is the starting state, and you need to get an output called as 2.0. This is the final state actually. This is the final state, and this is the starting state. In order to move from one state to other state, there is some constraint because neither X and Y does not do not have any marks, so obviously it's very difficult. So what can be the next state where I can go so that I can get 2 0? I will just try now. See, what is that I do is I keep, since 4-gallon jug is empty, I'm just trying to fill this 3-gallon jug. Is it possible? Is this right? Like I'm moving from 0 0 to 0 3. Is it a valid move?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because you have a pipe or a pump to fill this 2 jugs, so I can go from 0 0 to 0 3. Now what is that I do is I shift this. What is that I'm trying to do is I keep whatever that was there in the 3-gallon to 4-gallon. So what is that I'm trying to do is just tell me whether this is possible or not. Just tell me. Okay. So state that I have typed is right now. Initially 2 jugs are empty. Then I fill this jug and I have transferred this 3 to this 4-gallon jug. Is it valid? You can pour water from one jug to other jug. That is also there. So obviously, is that the third state is valid?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what you said
Yes,
is
sir.
right. So now 3-0 is that. What is that I do now is I will fill again this 3-gallon jug. 3 is that. Again I am refilling this 3-gallon jug now. So this is my new state now. So what is that now I do is I will fill this 4-gallon jug again until unless it is filled. So what is the next state now? I am pouring some water from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug until unless the 4-gallon jug is filled. So what is the next state?
4-2. 4-2, sir.
4-2.
Yes, what you said exactly is right. So 4-2 is your state, and then what is that I do is I empty this 4-gallon jug and I just have this 2-gallon jug here. Then what that I do is I'll pour water from a 3-gallon jug to so that it will have nothing on. So what is that I have done here is I have a starting state. I'm going from one state to other state. I'm going from one state to other state. Slowly I'm moving from one state to other state so that I will reach this goal. Is the solution is valid?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So can somebody tell me if you have a problem in artificial intelligence, whether you take a production system or you take a rule-based system or a knowledge-based system or any other truth belief system, any other systems, what can be the first step to do? I will tell you them. See, what is the first step is you understand the problem, then you identify the starting state and goal state, then you need to identify the state space. This is very important. You need to identify the starting state and goal state. After that, you need to identify where exactly your algorithm is going to operate. That is it a 3x3 matrix or 8x8 matrix or XYZ? What are the values which are more concerned about this algorithm? How does your algorithm will operate? The second one. Third very important thing is how do you analyze the problem to get the output? Now I will ask a question like can somebody unmute yourself and answer this? when you draw your DFAs, NFAs or PDAs or any other diagrams, we start with the small string and then we try to construct a DFA. So finally, once your DFA was constructed, is it general or specific to the particular one or two strings?
General.
Is it general or particular to that particular strings? Can somebody unmute yourself and tell, when you draw some diagrams in NFAs and DFAs, you start with a basic string and see that one or two strings are accepted, then we leave. But is it the diagram that you have drawing is a general diagram or a specific diagram to accept two or three strings?
General diagrams.
Yes. What you said is right. You are drawing a general diagram. So if somebody asks you to develop a mechanism or to solve this water jug problem or any other problem, what is that you do is you have to write productions in such a way that I will ask, how can I get something like I have 2 gallons of see, I have two jugs. The capability of jugs is 4 gallon and 6 gallon. How do you get 2 gallons and 6 gallon jug? I can change this. See, my interest is when you create a knowledge or when you write the productions, all the productions has to be general. They has to talk about X and Y. They cannot talk about 0003 something like this. So the next slide, what is that we have to do is, how many possible operations are there? How you are moving from the first step to the next step? How you are moving from this state to the next state? What is the operation that I have applied? The operation or the production that I have applied is fill this 3 gallon jug. See, many operations that we have performed, the name of the operations are fill this 3 gallon jug. Sometimes we fill 4 gallon jug, pour some water from a 3 gallon jug to 4 gallon jug, pour some water from 3 gallon jug to 4 gallon jug until unless it is complete. Pour some water from 2 gallon jug to 3 gallon jug. Many operations we have done. So we need to define all the operations now. So I have listed the operations in the next slide. So this analysis part has to be very clear. Like once you try to develop the knowledge of water jug problem, you need to analyze like this. Once the analysis was clear, we try to write the productions now. So these are the rules. This can be called as rules in textbooks. Some textbooks say this can be called as productions, and some textbooks says it is how you write or develop the knowledge. So many rules are there. We'll just try to fill these gaps. So which parameter represents 4 gallon? Is it X or Y?
X.
X,
Yes.
sir.
What is said is right. So I have something called as X and Y. Let's try to have more font. So once I fill this, what is the outcome I will get? I have to fill a 4 gallon jug completely. What is the output you get after this?
4,0.
Yes, 4 comma Y was there. I'm just trying to have this right. I can write a condition if X value is less than 4. What that I do is I can apply, I can fill that 4 gallon jug completely. The same way, so this is a production, because in your prologue or even now in Python also, you can have a production like this. How do you identify production? This is how you identify production. You can give knowledge in the times of productions. In Prolog, this is a valid statement, but this is a valid statement is in Prolog. What is there is this is there. This is a valid statement, but for our convenience, I am using this one. So, what is the second rule that I can write here to fill this 3-gallon jug? X comma y is there. It is only trying to fill this 3 gallons. So, what is the outcome you get here?
X comma 3.
Yes. And you can write y value can be less than 3. You need to understand we have some languages which can understand this type of terminology. We have a language called as Lisp. At the same time, we have a language called as Prolog, where this can be called as a rule, or this can be called as a production, or this can be called as a knowledge. When can you apply this rule is if x value is less than 4, then you can apply this rule and fill this 4-gallon jug. So this is a rule. So the same way we just try to have the other rules also. There is a chance that we can pour some water from this 4-gallon jug. Any amount of water. Pour some water from 4-gallon jug. Any amount of water, I don't know how much water I am pouring. I can pour some water on the floor. I don't know how much amount of water I am pouring. So obviously what can happen is initial value, if I say it is x, it can be x minus d. When can I apply this is x can be greater than 0. I can pour some water from this 4-gallon jug. My interest of these slides is how can you write the productions is my interest. So you can ask me whether it is possible or not, like how much water is poured from this 4-gallon to 3-gallon. So difficult. D cannot be known because we don't have any markers on this. So obviously D cannot be measured. At the same time, this type of productions cannot be used in your where you go for moving from one state to other state also. So pour some water out of 3-gallon jug. So what can be the production that I can write here? Initially xy was there. What is that I can get here is y minus b. Y value is greater than 0. I can pour some water from that y. That's what my intention is. I can pour some water from 3-gallon jug, and I can pour some water from 4-gallon jug also. This is what we have done. Only 4 productions you have written. The first production says you can fill this 4-gallon jug when your x value is less than 4. You can fill this 3-gallon jug when y value is less than 3. And if you want to pour some water out of 4-gallon also, you can pour some water. But x value should be more than 0. I don't know how much amount of water is getting poured. That is the reason if I don't know how much of water is getting poured out of the water, it's very difficult to use this type of productions at a later stage. So then you can pour the entire water from this 4-gallon jug. So what can I write here? If x and y are initially there, what is that I can get out? What is the output I get?
Zero comma y.
This is better. So my interest of all this discussion is when you have a problem like this, the first thing you have done is you identify the starting state, you identify the goal state, then you also identified how do you process, how do you analyze this. This is also you have done. From this, I need some actions. That actions you are representing like this. Now, how to empty the third gallon jug on the ground? So, what is that I can do here is I can just copy this here. So, you can empty this. You will get x here. You will get 0 here. So, I can apply this rule when the value of y is greater than 0. My interest of this last few slides is how can you create a general intelligence, or how do you create a general knowledge, how do you create a general productions, how do you create a general rules. That's what we are talking, because these rules can be understood by a language called as Lisp and Prolog directly. So only thing that we have to change is instead of this arrow mark, you have to remove this and you have to say like this so that your Prolog can easily identify this. So we have emptied some water, we have poured some water, we have poured some water on the ground. And if you see this slide completely, you can also understand I need some action where you need to pour some water from y to x so that x is completely filled. You need to pour some water from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug until unless that 4-gallon jug is filled. That is what the crucial state it is. So how can you represent that production now? That is very important because that production is the vital production. I'm going to that part. Yeah. So we have written this and then you have to go write this. Pour water from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug until the 4-gallon jug is filled. How can you write this production? Because when this type of classes are happening, you need to take notes and pen to process, because when you need to analyze, you need to have a notes and paper or with respect to pen and pencil. So this is a crucial point, like how can you pour water from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug until the 4-gallon jug is filled. This is what we have seen here. We are pouring some water from this to this until unless the 4-gallon jug is filled. So every time when you represent this state space or your productions, xy must be there. What can I write? Yes, I said the 4-gallon jug has to be completely filled. So the output is 4. But now you have to tell me what can be the next state, something like this. What can I write the value of y?
3 minus D.
The d is not known actually. Is it right? See, what is that you have to
Yes,
get?
sir.
Yes, see, I understood now what you're telling me. I understood. So what is that you have to get now is, if I have a marker here, so I have to get these two states. Initial value of x is 3. Initial value of y is 3. After performing this production, I have to get this 4 and 2. 3, 3 to 4 2. How do you get? That is what we are discussing actually. Here, what is that we are trying to get is, we have a state somewhere called as 3, 3. From this, I have to get a state called as 4, 2. So, okay, this is the earlier slide. I have to go to the next slide. This is what we are talking. Pour water from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug until the 4-gallon jug is filled. So here the 4-gallon jug is filled. How do we get this 2? I have to get a 2 here if x value is 3 and y value is 3. In between I can write some conditions. That conditions we need to think what conditions you can write here. You can pour some water from y to x when y value is more than 0, and when you pour some water from this to that, so your x plus y value must not be more than 4, because I said it has to fill it completely. So you can write x plus y can be more than or equal to 4, then only you can fill. But my interest is not on the condition, my interest is on here. How do you get the value of 2? You need to understand you are pouring something from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug. Whatever we are pouring is, we are pouring something from 3-gallon jug. What should be in this brace? It's very simple, but you need to see this is a state that I have taken when you have analyzed. So x value initially in the state is 3, y value is also 3. I have to fill this 4 gallon, so I have a 4 gallon here. So this I have to get as 2. So that is what we are trying to have. Pour some water from 3-gallon jug to 4-gallon jug until the 4-gallon jug is full. So what should I write at this point? That's what we are at this point. What should I write? So that I have to get a 2. This answers can be only can be attempted only when you write something on the paper. You need to write something on the paper and then you will get the output easily, very easily you will get. So I have 3, 3, what is what I can do is y minus, you are pouring something from y. Maximum
4 minus
4 minus
x.
4 minus x. See, this is right. The reason is the y value initially is 3. 3 minus 4 minus x value initially is 3. So what you said is right. This is 3 minus 1. That is 2. What she is told is right. Now just I try to complete this. So what she told is right. 4 minus x. The condition also I have written when you just want to pour this. So now you just tell me, can you get a state 4, 2 from 3, 3? You have a state 4, 2. Can you get a state 3, 3 from 4, 2? Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Pour some water from 4 until unless the The next one is completely completed. That's what. Pour some water from the 4-gallon jug until your 3-gallon jug is complete. Pour some water from this to somewhere so that this can be completed. This is what it is. It's very important, because when you try to attempt AI questions, what will happen is you have a state from 3 to 3 to 4 2. Many times there is every chance that you can go back to the earlier state. So pour some water from 4-gallon jug to 3-gallon jug until unless 3-gallon jug is full is also there. So I stop the class here because I need to represent a few productions and complete this. We will continue the same discussion tomorrow, and I will complete the productions, and then we will see what are the components of production system with this example. So tomorrow I am starting the class. I will start writing the productions again from 4.2 to 3.3. And meanwhile, if you have any doubts, please unmute yourself and you can ask. My sincere request to you is actively participate in your Google class. Every day I'm just giving some quizzes. Please participate in that quizzes. Type something so that I could understand you are following something. At the same time, that will give you some confidence. And keep track on what actually happening in the campus. On 26th, we have Capgemini visiting our campus, where they said the emphasis of selection is based on the intuition towards machine learning and deep learning. So in this context, this is very important. So please participate in the class. Please read the textbook. So if you have any doubts, please now you can unmute yourself, and then we have a small discussion, then we'll stop.